I've discussed in the past why I believe Nijisanji is truly a genius company. And yesterday, after watching the debuts of the brand new Nijisanji EN wave, EXSOLEIL, I do not only just stand firm on that belief, but once again, Nijisanji continues to do things that are truly genius, that I myself would have never even thought of. A perfect example of this would be Nijisanji's genius use of debut music videos. While debut music videos are nothing new to the idol industry, it is something quite rare in the virtual idol industry. And Nijisanji takes full advantage of the many positives that come from using debut music videos. Debut music videos add a whole new layer to debuts. In a typical VTuber debut schedule, it usually goes something like this. Step 1, the talents are announced. Step 2, they debut. Step 3, that's kinda it. But Nijisanji's use of debut music videos is brilliant because it adds a whole nother aspect to the debut, and in some cases helps build an insane amount of hype and expectation for the new wave. A perfect example of this would be our very special boys from Luxium. At the time of this video's release, Hope in the Dark, which is Luxium's debut music video, is currently standing at over 18 million views. The most viewed Nijisanji video ever released on the official Nijisanji EN YouTube channel. This insane hype for Hope in the Dark could have totally played a huge role in the explosion of Luxium and Nijisanji in 2022. And even that in itself is no fluke. If we look at the Nijisanji EN channel, pretty much all of the most viewed videos are all debut music videos. The hype this strategy builds for their talents is actually insane, and the positives to these debut MVs don't even end there. It also makes the debuts feel more special and gives fans something to look back on to remember the debut and the feelings of excitement they experienced while the debuts were actually happening in real time. The nostalgia I feel when I listen to Diamond City Lights is something I can only describe as awesome. I remember every feeling I felt when I watched the debut of Nijisanji EN's first group every time I listened to it. So, Sebi, this quite obviously has really nothing to do with the topic of this video because that's not what I clicked on this video to hear about. So why are you bringing it up? I brought it up because I wanted to show you that Nijisanji actually does have a track record of making brilliant executive decisions. And that this time, in the case of EXSOLEIL, or more specifically Meloco Kyoran, it isn't just a fluke. Everything about Meloco Kyoran's existence is just brilliant. And hold on, let me explain why before you all go into the comments saying that I'm a simp. Because I can assure you that is kinda absolutely true, but hold on, stick with me here because I might actually be onto something. Meloco Kyoran is Japanese, a Japanese native actually. You might be thinking, okay, and it's 2022, there's a lot of VTubers who are Japanese and doing English streams. Hell, there was another VTuber like that inside of this Nijisanji wave we're literally talking about, so what makes Meloco so special? What makes Meloco some masterpiece, as I describe her in the title of this video? Meloco is special because she does not have perfect English. In fact, she's only been learning English for about a year, so her English is still a work in progress. And throughout the entire history of the VTuber industry, there has been a market for that kind of VTuber that has never been fully tapped into. A VTuber whose native language is not English, however streams in English and kind of has like an accent. The only truly successful example I can currently think of this phenomenon would be Saraway, who is really successful for many different reasons of course, but one of them being her amazing French accent. But I haven't really seen this be done with a Japanese native. I've at least definitely not seen it in a huge agency like Nijisanji. If we look all the way back to the golden age of VTubing in 2020, the most popular clips of that year, and probably still some of the most popular VTuber clips of all time, are clips of Hololive members like Inugami Korone or Sakura Miko speaking very broken English. Okay, hold on, listen, I'm aware that comparing Miko's elite English to Meloco's English is like a literal war crime, but I'm kind of making an extreme comparison to get my point across here, so stick with me.
I like drink hot chocolate and ice cream without mayo.
Meloco's English is not broken at all by any means. In fact, it's actually really good. Like, really, really good. Especially if that's true that she's only been learning English for about a year. It's honestly crazy how good her speaking ability is considering how hard English is to learn if it's not your first language. But even so, Meloco's English is not perfect. But Nijisanji, like I said, knows what they're doing because I love that. She kind of has like an accent, like a Japanese accent, and I think that is totally amazing, as I'm sure most of you would agree. To Westerners, who I think is Nijisanji EN's main target audience, someone like Meloco, who's very distinctly foreign, could make her streams really desirable to a lot of Western viewers. That's a big reason why I believe those Korone and Miko clips that I brought up earlier were so successful to Western viewers. There's just something very desirable and cute about someone whose first language is obviously not English, but speaking it anyway. And as I said, Meloco's case is obviously not even nearly as dramatic as the other examples I stated, but even so, I think she will still have a similar effect on her audience that those clips that are now ancient history once had on the large audience of Western viewers. And of course, I have to mention the idea of using streaming to help learn English is just super adorable and wholesome, but who would have thought we would see a member of Nijisanji EN debut who doesn't even know perfect English? I honestly would have never expected that in my life, until I saw her on my screen in front of me and it all just clicked in my head how brilliant of an idea that was. To debut a girl whose main language is Japanese and is in the process of learning English right into the English branch, that is on paper such a bizarre idea, but in reality works so well, like fundamentally well. In my opinion, Nijisanji understands this industry better than any of the other agencies in the game right now, which is why in 2022, we've seen such a gigantic explosion of Nijisanji. And I say this as somebody who's actually biased to Hololive, but I have to give credit where credit is due. 2022 was the year of Nijisanji, so as you can probably tell, Any Color has indeed impressed me again. Upon our first look, EXSOLEIL just looks amazing. And I do mean like literally look at them. They're all so fucking hot. Anyways guys, subscribe to the channel if you like VTuber analysis videos like this one. And of course, as always, if you think I missed anything important or just have something you want to add to this very cool conversation, please don't be shy, leave a comment. I do read every single one and I look forward to what you all have to say. But with all this shit being said, I will be seeing you guys in the next video.